What is going on, everybody? Silver Scrounger here, and today we are talking about dimes. More specifically, silver dimes. Alright, so dimes have been minted in the US since 1796. And there's been 6 main designs of the dime, and every one of them has been made using silver. These designs are the draped bust dime, the capped bust dime, the seated Liberty dime, the Barber dime, the Mercury dime, and the Roosevelt dime. We are going to look at each one of these and learn a little bit of history about them, point out key dates for each design, as well as some going prices for them. So this may be a little bit of a long video. If it starts to drag out too long, I'm going to cut it into 2 different sections, and we'll see how it goes. But before we get started, this video and the Constitutional Silver series that I'm doing is brought to you by Royal Coin and Jewelry. They are a wonderful coin shop out in Houston, Texas, and you can check them out on their website there, as well as on Instagram, and I'll have the links to both of those down below in the description. So let's get going. First one up for us to talk about is going to be the drape bust dime. This design only had an 11-year run from 1796 to 1807, and the metal composition wasn't quite 90-10 like most constitutional silver that everyone thinks of is. It was just a hair less than silver. It was 89.24% silver and 10.76% copper. However, these are some pricey coins. Even the quite common years in about good condition, which is really low, they will run a couple of $100 easy. Now, key dates like the 1796, 1797, 1802, and 1804, those go for a good bit of money, a whole lot more than the $200 or $300 the common years will go for. But I've did some researching, and there was one 1804 that sold with Heritage Auction, and this was way back in July of 2008, and it sold for an astounding $632,500. Wow. So that is an amazing dime, I guess you could say. All right. Next, we have the capped bust dime. These were minted from 1809 through 1837. So a little bit longer run than its predecessor, the drape bust dime. However, there are several years that were skipped. But like the drape bust dime, it is also 89.24% silver. Common year cap bust dimes in AG to G condition, such as this 1831 cap bust dime, they're a little more realistic for the blue collar, work 10 to 15 hours of overtime to have a little something for our hobby type of person, such as myself. And you can get one of these for about $25 to $30, depending if it's a decent good or down in the AG condition. I was lucky enough to be able to buy this one from Royal Coin and Jewelry while I was at the Alamo Coin Show last weekend. So I was happy to be able to have one to be able to show instead of just a internet search photo. As far as key dates, there's really only two worth mentioning. Those 2 years are the 1809 and the 1822. One of these two in an AG or G condition will be 10 times more than what a common year will run for. So you can be paying $200, $250 easy for one of these two key dates. But both of these designs, the drape bust or cap bust dimes, have absolutely no place in a junk silver stack. Now, on to the next dime, which is the seated Liberty dime. This design shows up in 1837, and it has the longest run for any 1800s dime design. It was minted for 54 years and ended in 1891. This is also when the 90-10 silver to copper ratio started. So this is when it was 90% silver. We also start seeing multiple mint marks as well. Even the most common years and mints in the lowest grade will still cost $10 to $15 easily. So you won't be seeing these in the junk silver bin very often either. This one right here is a nice 1875 San Francisco, and this is a common year and mint, so nothing super special other than being a nice really old dime. But as far as it goes for the key dates, well, better strap in. This one's going to be a bit of a ride. The seated Liberty dime has the most key and semi-key dates of all the dimes. So here we go. So we've got 1838 O, which stands for New Orleans. Then we got 1843 O, 1844 no mint mark, meaning it's minted in Philadelphia. 1846 Philadelphia. 1856 S for San Francisco. 1858 S. 1859 S. 1860 O. Then from 1861 through 1867, all mint marks. And Philly being the major key dates. So anything from 1861 to 1867 with no mint mark is the main key date, but all of those from San Francisco, New Orleans, they are all worth more than the common years. Then we get into 1870 S, 1871 CC, which is Carson City. This one is a little crazy. You're looking at a good, easy $2,000 at a G4 grade. That's a lot of money for a dime for a low grade. I can't imagine what it would be like for a high grade. I haven't even looked because I don't want to know. Then after that one, we got the 1872 and 73 Carson Cities. The 1874 Carson City, that one is like the holy grail of the seated Liberty dimes. And about the worst condition that is still readable, still able to make out what it is, that one you can get as much as $6,500 for it. That is just insane. I know there's more valuable coins out there, but I'm just thinking one dime that you can barely tell what it looks like, you could possibly get that much for. After that, then we got the 1878 Carson City, 1879 Philadelphia, 1880, and 1881 Philadelphia's. The last one we got in this one is 1885 San Francisco. Man, that's a lot of key dates to try to remember. So I have to write them all down. And anytime I go to a coin show, I carry that little note with me. All right. Now that we've gotten through that long list, we're going to get into some designs that are more commonly found in the junk silver type of dimes. The next one we're going to look at is the Barber dime. Charles Barber is who designed this dime, and they were minted only for a short 24-year period, from 1892 through 1916. The typical common year low-grade Barber dime can be found for right about junk silver prices, and some end up in the stack here and there. In fact, I have a few right here. Here's one right here. Can barely make it out. There we go. 1911. Got another one right here, 1909. Very slick. I mean, you can barely feel any of it on there when you rub your finger across. Oh, there's another one, 1905. That's my oldest one that I have in my junk silver stack. And you can tell it's pretty worn out, and they are not key dates. But going up in grade a little bit, they are still worth more than just junk silver, such as this 1911 Barber dime that is very likely a very fine. You can see the detail a lot better in it and everything. It is not going to be just junk silver price, so this will be worth a little bit more. And then if you get some mint marks on them, they might be worth a little more as well, even at a good condition. So if you're wondering, the mint marks on a lot of these coins are going to be on the reverse, and you can see it down there on the bottom under the wreath. Now there are some good semi-key and key dates to keep an eye out for, and they can run anywhere from $15 to $300, even in a low grade. And those dates to really look for are the 1892 San Francisco, 1893 Philadelphia and New Orleans, the O, 1894 Philadelphia and O, 1895 Philly, O and S. And the O is being the highly valued one. Even in a G4, it can fetch as much as $500. Then we got the 1896 and 1897 in both the O and S mint marks. Also, 1901 S, 1903 S, 1904 S, and 1913 S. A little bit shorter list on this one, but it's still quite a few of them to remember. So again, I'll have all those dates written down on a little cheat sheet or something on my phone that I'll be able to reference when I need to. Now, on to arguably the most iconic and recognizable silver dime, the Mercury dime. They were minted from 1916 all the way to 1945. Now this design has had plenty of debates over it. A lot of people believe that the obverse is showing the Roman god Mercury. Let's get in here a little bit closer. This is also how it's become known, the Mercury dime. Well, if you didn't already know, it's actually Lady Liberty wearing a winged pelleas. I believe that's how you say it. I'm not sure. A pelleas is a pointed or close-fitting cap worn by ancient Romans. Adolf Weinman, who designed this dime, considered the winged cap to symbolize liberty of thought. However, it is most likely a huge part of a silver stacker's junk silver stack. They also happen to be my favorite dime design. And because it is my favorite design for the dime, and arguably my favorite design for all U.S. Constitutional silver, I've got quite a few of them. Most of them are all in my junk silver stack here, but I do have some that are in really nice shape, and I've definitely been keeping a hold of them. Don't want to get rid of them for sure. They're real nice. I even have some semi-key dates that are in not so great condition, but still worth more than just junk silver prices, like that 1916 I showed earlier. Now, there are some, not many, but there are some key dates that you do want to look for, especially if you have a full stack of marks to look through. You might want to go and take a look through them. For the most iconic key date for the Mercury dime is the 1916 Denver. Then the rest of them are pretty good key dates, and then a couple of semi-key dates, but they go in order: 1916 S, then the 1921 Philadelphia and Denver. So both of those are key dates. A couple of the semi-key dates are the 1926 San Francisco and the 1931 Denver. They're worth more than junk silver price for sure, just not near as much as, say, the 1921s or the 1916 Denver. Now, one thing to keep an eye out for when you do find a mint Merc dime is what is known as full bands on the fasces on the reverse. Here, I'll show you a perfect example of what I'm talking about. This here is a 1942 Denver MS65 Mercury dime, and that FB stands for full bands. Now this coin is actually available, this exact coin is available through Royal Coin and Jewelry. They have this coin for sale in their shop. So, just so you know, if you're looking for a nice example of a full bands Mercury dime, there you go. Let me get something to point at this with. But right here, right there, and right there, those bands at the top, middle, and bottom of the fasces, they need to be fully separated. You'll see 2 of them on the bottom, 2 in the middle, and 3 on top. And they need to be fully separated to be able to get that designation. And that will up the price for sure on a real nice Mercury dime. And again, you can find this one through Royal Coin and Jewelry, which, again, I have the link to their website and their Instagram in the description below. All right, now, the last dime we're going to talk about is the Roosevelt dime. This one started minting in 1946, and this exact same design is still minted today. The only difference is it's no longer silver. What we have here is, of course, the obverse shows President Roosevelt, and on the reverse is a torch. The last year the dime was minted on 90% silver planchets was 1964 as far as general business strikes. There are some special proofs that are silver as well, but we're not getting into those. We're just talking about general issued business strike circulated coins. So there's not really any major key dates that are going to be worth a loads more than the typical silver price is, but it is the cheapest 90% junk silver you can get. A lot of places will charge a little bit less on these dimes than they will Mercury dimes. And it's definitely going to be less than, say, a barber dime. But when it comes to numismatic value, condition is key. Rosies, or Roosevelt dimes, typically don't start to go up in value until you get to the mid mint state grades like MS63 or MS64. Then there's also some proofs that were made back then as well. And we're going to take a look at one of those. So this here is a proof 1964 Roosevelt dime. You can tell by how the head looks like it's frosted on it, and then the fields are almost mirror-like. So this is a proof 1964, and it scored a PF 68 on this one. But this is just a beautiful example of the Roosevelt dime. Now, as I was saying, the condition is everything. Even, 1955, that looks like it's going to be AU, possibly a low mint state. It's still not going to be worth a whole lot. It's only, maybe 50 cents to $1 more than silver melt. And then you get into the last year that they were made in silver, and they're not worth any more than melt, basically. Same with this one. I mean, it looks really, really wonderful, but it's only worth about $2. It's about all you'll get for it. Now, one of the things that you really do want to look for that will help the value when it gets into those mint states is what they call a full torch, or full bands again on this one. And you'll see there's a couple of bands on the bottom of the torch and there's a couple of bands on top. But there's also what looks like sticks or something that is banded together by those bands. You need to have full separated lines on all of that to get a full torch. And it's pretty hard to get because that is one of the highest wear spots. Alright, so we covered all 6 dimes: the drape bust, cap bust, the seated Liberty, barber dimes, Mercury dimes, and the Roosevelt dimes in this entire video. And I don't think it lasted too long, but anyway, let me know what you guys think. Leave some comments and let me know how you feel about each of the dimes. If you got a specific one that's your favorite, if there's anything that you wanted to add to let other people know about, let me know. Let them know. Leave a comment. I'd really appreciate also if you'd hit that thumbs up button for liking the video. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, please, because Right now, I am well on my way to 250 subscribers. I'm right about 183 right now, but once I hit that 250 subscribers, I'm going to do a giveaway for this 2021 American Silver Eagle Type 2. It will be given away on a video, and I can't wait to do so. I don't know why, I love doing giveaways, but I have to reach those certain goals to do them. Anyway, this is Silver Scrounger saying thanks for watching and keep on stacking. I want to thank everyone for watching my video. It is greatly appreciated. If you enjoyed it, found it informative or entertaining, please hit that thumbs up button by liking the video. Also comment on what you think about anything discussed. I'm always interested to hear other people's thoughts. Until next time, this is Silver Scrounger saying thanks for watching and keep on stacking.